What's going on, guys? Algebra back here again, and today we're going to be doing our second installment of our 5-year plan series. Uh, Today we're focusing on the New York Football Giants. So the New York Giants have a couple young stud pieces that we're going to look to build around. Again, for our 5-year plan, we're going to take a team, regardless of their starting point, and we're going to move them from where they are to the top with the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl within that 5-year window. We've got Saquon, we've got Evan Ingram, we've got some pieces there that we can build around. Let's see if we can take this team to the top. So before we get started, let's take a look at some of the pieces that we have to work with. I alluded to some of them at the beginning. We obviously have Saquon Barkley, superstar X Factor, young. He'll be here for the entire duration. Evan Ingram is a young piece, star development, 88 overall. He's in his early 20s. He'll be here for the entire duration. One of the biggest question marks for the Giants is Daniel Jones, the guy. Daniel Jones, 70 overall, 22, rookie out of Duke, normal development trait. I think Daniel Jones, given some time in the NFL, is going to be as serviceable, if not a good starting quarterback for the Giants. For our 5-year plan here, again, this not necessarily is the most realistic rebuild. We might look to move on from Daniel Jones if the opportunity presents itself, especially if we can't get that development trait up from normal within the first 2 years, because otherwise his growth is going to be really slow, and it's not going to be beneficial to our team. I mean, he's got decent attributes, nothing spectacular though. We have to look to development, and he has to have good years in the first two, otherwise we're going to have to make a change pretty quickly on. Golden Tate's a piece that's going to start regressing. He's 31 years old. He's going to be on the decline of his career. We're going to look to probably move Golden Tate. I like Sterling Shepard, 26. He might be here for the entire duration. Darius Slayton, rookie out of Auburn. Hidden development on him, 77 overall. He could be potentially our number one receiver, 93 speed, 92 acceleration, 86 catch. We've got a decent way to start our development. Cody Latimer, Corey Coleman, Russell Shepard. Not much to write home about. Nate Solder, John Jalapeno, Mike Remers, Kevin Zeitler, all old in their high 20s, if not early 30s. The only offensive line piece I'm really sticking with is going to be Will Hernandez, who's a 1-year guard out of UTEP, 78 overall. And Will Hernandez is going to help us just solidify that core on offensive line. Again, these other pieces, Nate Solder is he's in his 30s. He's going to be regressing, and from what I remember, his contract is awful. Yeah, he's owed $18 million basically each year. It's not a great deal. We want to get that money off the books so we can bring in some more free agents, some better, younger, more developable pieces. Same with Remers. Zeitler is late 20s, 29. He's going to start regressing as well. Right now he's a good piece, but we're not looking to win right now. We're looking to use these first 2 years to get young talent in the door to build. Jalapeno, 28, 68 overall, not a piece that I really want to do. So our offense has a lot of work to be done. We're obviously going to focus on Saquon Barkley and Evan Ingram as our 2 pieces to build around. On the defensive side of the ball, we've got Dexter Lawrence, rookie out of Clemson, rush left end, 21 years old, hidden development on him. Our defensive line is actually really solid. Leonard Williams, Dalvin Tomlinson, B.J. Hill, Dexter Lawrence. It kind of makes me wonder if we should go to a 4-3 and have Dalvin Tomlinson and B.J. Hill. We'll move B.J. Hill. I think he's the natural end. We'll move him over to D-tackle, where he actually is improved overall. And we could limit this weak linebacker core of Lorenzo Carter, Alec Ogletree, Marcus Golden, and kind of diminish the importance of the middle linebacker here, just because we don't have the pieces to do that. Jabril Peppers is one of my favorite players in Madden, because he's so easily tradable. And in that, I mean that you can trade for him in your franchise pretty easily. The Giants are so willing to give him up, which is surprising. But he's so versatile as well. You can play him at safety, either safety. You can play him at cornerback, and you can play him at almost any linebacker slot because of his diverse skill set. He's fast. He's got 90 overall speed. His zone, his tackle, his pursuit are all in the 70s, so those are solid across. His play recognition, hit power is super high for someone of his size, so he can kind of play anywhere, which we're probably going to have to use that flexibility with him in order to make this defense successful. We might move some pieces around depending on what we get in free agency. Cornerback, huge need of ours. DeAndre Baker's a rookie out of Georgia. Normal development on him is kind of a bummer. Antoine Bethea is like ancient. He's 35 years old. Shout out Howard University. Good for him. But Antoine Bethea he's gone. I also like Julian Love. I want to see if Julian Love actually can play cornerback and we can get him some reps at corner. Yeah, so we moved Julian Love down to cornerback. He's our number one corner, which is cool. Him and Baker can develop alongside each other and get first-team reps. Hopefully that'll get Julian Love's development trade up from normal. And again, the linebackers, Alec Ogletree, good real-life player, not a great Madden player. Lorenzo Carter, 23 years old out of Georgia. He might develop depending on how his season goes, get that development trade up. He could be a piece of the future, but this is our team. And then for special teams, we've got Aldrick Rosas, star development, one of the better kickers in the game, and Riley Dixon, whatever. So before we start, let's move some pieces. Let's try to get some draft picks. We want to get draft picks early on so we can get young talent in the door and develop them over this course of this 5-year plan. Obviously, the big elephant in the room for the Giants is Eli Manning and his $23 million cap hit. No one's going to want Eli Manning by himself. We're going to see if we can pair him with somebody else to get him out the door. So we're going to send Eli Manning, Nate Solder, and that's $40 million of cap room out the door, and our third-round pick for the number one pick from the Dolphins. Ideally, the number one pick, depending on how their season goes, projected number one overall pick. To clear $40 million of cap space and move up into the first round, I'll gladly take that trade. See you, Eli. So we're going to trade Golden Tate, Alec Ogletree, and our second-round pick this year for a first from the Redskins this year and a first-round pick next year. Again, stockpiling higher draft picks for this 5-year plan. We also pick up a first round for next year in the process while moving up to the first round and clearing out some of the older talent on our team. We're going to trade Antoine Bethea, Keenan Martin, and our 5th-round pick this year for the Bengals' first-round pick next year. We couldn't get good first-round value for this coming draft, but again, stockpiling a first-round pick for the following year. Again, clearing a ton of book. We're up to $83 million in available cap room. We're going to see if there's anyone else on our team that we want to look to get rid of. We're going to send Corey Coleman and Rhett Ellison, who's eating about $5 million worth of cap, and going to be our backup tight end. We're going to send him to the Saints for their first-round pick. Again, stockpiling picks. So we've cleared up a ton of cap room. We've gotten draft picks. What we're going to do, we're down to a 75 overall, 77 on offense, 73 on defense. What we're going to do before we start is I'm going to transition the Giants to a 4-3. I want to do that. I'm going to move B.J. Hill over to defensive tackle, 6'3", 311, plays more as a defensive tackle. Anyways, as we said earlier, he has a better overall as a D tackle, so we're going to move him over to D tackle. It's actually an 80% scheme fit, which is, pretty good. That's where we were in the 3-4 as well. We want our defenders to kind of drop into coverage and play the pass and use our strength right now on the defensive line to mitigate the run with an ideal pass rush. But we want more coverage since our secondary is incredibly weak right now. And this 4-3 will play in the long run as that defensive line really develops and we bring in some pieces at linebacker. And then offensively, what are we in right now offensively? West Coast power run. That doesn't really fit. When you think of Saquon Barkley, he's not a power runner. He's more of an agile, first one free type of runner. In fact, I think that's his ability. We're going to go vertical zone run. Yeah, we want to take some shots downfield, and we want to get Saquon Barkley in open space as an elusive back. So we're going to switch to a vertical zone run playbook. we're going to jump to the mid-season mark, and I'll see you all on the other side. How are we looking? We are 3-4-1, which is not as bad as I hoped we'd be. We do have some people we have to look to bring back. Leonard Williams coming back, cool. Aldo Grosso's coming back, 80 overall. Marcus Golden's a maybe. We'll see where he is at the end of the year. None of these guys I'm going to bring back. Maybe Alex Tanney? No, we're not bringing any of these guys back. 3-4-1. Let's jump to the end of the year. And we made the playoffs. Why? Why did we make the playoffs? 77 overall, 79 on offense, 76 on defense. I guess those switches of our scheme helped a lot. We're 8-7-1. Because this is the first year of the 5-year plan, we're not going to jump in to these games. So we're just going to see, can we beat the Cowboys? No, we lose 42-27 to the Cowboys, which is fine. Again, we're not looking to win the Super Bowl in year 1. You have to set realistic expectations for yourself. Let's take a look at our development traits, though. So Darius Slayton got up to star development. Dexter Lawrence, star development as well. Okay, Julian Love up to 76. Hopefully, once we get to the Super Bowl and progress a little bit, we'll see those end of the season awards. So let's do that right now. So the Super Bowl is the Falcons and the Titans. It's an interesting Super Bowl. Let's see how we did, because it's surprising. So we're 21st in the NFL in yards, 4th defensively. So we had a good defense. That's just surprising. Yeah, our offense was not great, but defensively is what kept us in games. We were 4th in yards and 3rd in points allowed. So the switch to a 4-3 was a good idea for us. Let's take a look at our team. Daniel Jones, year. 22 touchdowns in 16 games is not great. Neither is 14 interceptions, 16 games, 3,600 yards. Not a great year. Saquon Barkley, about 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns. Wade Gallman as a backup, doing a decent job. Daniel Jones getting some rushing yards as well. Sterling Shepard, 845 yards. Darius Slayton, almost 800 yards. Evan Ingram had a solid year with 8 touchdowns. Blocking, I'm always interested in the amount of sacks we give up. We gave up 36 sacks as a team, which is on the poorer side. Probably explains why our offense was so bad. Deion Buchanan, almost 100 tackles. Same with DeAndre Baker. You usually don't want your secondary players to be your leader in tackles. That either means that the running backs on the other team are getting to the second level, or we're just letting other teams pass the ball on us. Tackles for loss. Dexter Lawrence leading our team with 15. Leonard Williams and Lorenzo Carter following suit. Sacks. Lorenzo Carter with 8.5, Marcus Golden 5.5. We want some more pressure from our defensive line moving forward, so we'll look to fix that. Jabril Peppers with 2 interceptions, Michael Thomas, Grant Haley, Julian Love with each with 1 apiece, forced fumbles. Peppers, Mayo, Baker, and Connolly, with David Mayo recovering the only fumble. We have a blocked kick in there, Brian Connolly, and no touchdowns. Let's take a look at these awards. Andrew Luck on the Broncos wins MVP. So that's unfortunate. Didn't we trade with the Broncos for one of their picks? So that's kind of unfortunate that they had a better record than anticipating. I don't see anyone on our team being on many of these lists. Matt Ryan, Offensive Player of the Year. Makes sense. They're in the Super Bowl. Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. Also makes sense. Again, don't expect to see any of my players here. Daniel Jones finishes 2nd. An Offensive Rookie of the Year behind Kyler Murray, as expected. Darius Slayton finishes 7th, so some good offensive years for our rookies. Defensively, Jelani Tavai wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Julian Love finishes 8th, and DeAndre Baker finishes 10th, so again, decent years for those guys as well. Quarterback, don't anticipate to be on there. Running back, kind of surprised to be that low. Saquon Barkley at 8th. Receiver-wise, we're not going to be on there. O-line, yeah, we don't have any pieces. Nothing. Oh, Lorenzo Carter at 9th for best linebacker. All right, but that's the end of the first year. Let's jump to the offseason and see what we can pick up in terms of pieces for our team. Marcus Golden going down 2 overall. means he's declining, means I'm not interested, which probably means I'm not interested in any of these players. I am not interested. Sean Chandler with star development, just too low of an overall for us to make an impact. So we're not going to bring any of these guys back. Chris Jones would be a huge get for us. Chris Jones would be a huge get, especially now that we're in the 4-3. BJ Hill would become a rotational defensive tackle instead of being a normal defensive tackle for us. So we're definitely going to take a run at Chris Jones. He's young. He fits in this window of rebuild that we're looking to work with. We're going to up our offer a little bit. We really want an X factor on defense as well, which is what Chris Jones is. Our secondary is weak as well. We're going to go after Kendall Fuller as well. There are no offers on him right now, which means we can get the opportunity to kind of lowball him. Sometimes when players, 72, not the best offer, not the worst offer. When you lowball players when there's no offers on the table, sometimes they'll jump at the first offer that's given to them. So we're going to take a shot here with Kendall Fuller. The part of me is considering taking Andrew Luck here and just having a quarterback for the duration of this time. He's an X factor. We're going to offer him over 5 years. No, we're not. That's into my mind. No, we're not. Yeah, we're not there yet. I would rather have a quarterback that I can develop with my team. In terms of tight end, I think it's important to have a decent backup tight end. We're going to lowball one of these lower tight ends. I really like Mo Alley Cox. People forget he played power forward on VCU's Final Four team. Now this I can kind of get behind. Ryan Shazier. It's only normal development, which is surprising. Corey Littleton as well. We're going to take a run at Shazier. I think right away with Ryan Shazier, if we play him, he will get up to star development, no problem. All right. So we got Chris Jones, we got Kendall Fuller, we got Mo Alley Cox. We're 3 for 3. That means Kendall Fuller took our lowball offer, which is awesome news. Those are big pieces that are going to go a long way in terms of our development as a defense. Ryan Shazier outbid. If he was star development, I would consider here, but he's not star development. Was there somebody else that I liked? Yeah, Jane Rathan's too old. All right, that's fine. As much as I like Ryan Shazier, just the normal development is kind of concerning, and because our window is so small, he's only going to develop for like 2 more years and then start to regress when we really want to make our push in our 4th and 5th year at this point. So we'll pass on him. That's fine. We've got some key pieces for us. We're going to hit the draft. All right, so we have picks number 3 and number 4. We also have some additional first-round picks. Let's take a look at the board. This is the first time I'm seeing the board. We want to see if anything is really jumping out at us here. All right, so after doing a quick comb through, here's what the board looks like. There's a ton of interior, lineman talent, which I'm going to look to take. Daniel Thorne's probably the number 1 player on my board. His top 3 skills, all A- are great. He's the number 1 left tackle in the draft. Definitely someone that I'm going to look to go after. There is a quarterback here that kind of takes my eye, Jeremy Hunter, but he's looking to probably go really early in this draft. If he's there at our later picks, again, we pick 4, 5, 22, and 26. If he's around in the late first round, we'll definitely take him. Otherwise, we'll keep going with Daniel Jones. We'll see who the computer takes in front of us, but I like these 2 linemen, Daniel Thorne and Clifton Brown, the top player in each one of their positions. I like Devontae Smiley as well. He's clearly the first cornerback on the board. He's got speed. He can do it all, it seems like. He'll have a high overall as well. But we needed to build that line and give them time to develop so that in the later part of our 5-year plan, they're really solidified with their skill set. So let's jump to our pick. That cornerback, Devontae Smiley, 80 overall. He's definitely the number 1 player in the class. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go back-to-back linemen, and we're going to look to trade some of the older pieces that we have. I know the quarterback's there, which would be a flashing pick, but we really need to shore up this offensive line. So we're going to take Daniel Thorne, early first-round grade on him. Great skills, pass protector. If we're going to, especially if we want to look to try to move to a run and shoot offense, we're not sure. Daniel Thorne, he's ranked number 9. We took him at 4, which is fine. Hidden development, 76 overall. He's going to be an anchor on the outside of our line. We pick again at 5. We're going to take the next offensive lineman that was on my board, Clifton Brown. This will allow us to either play him at center or move Kevin Zeitler, who's 30 and probably going to start to regress as well. He's got great strength here as well. Number 3 ranked in the class. Normal development's kind of a bummer. We got him at number 5, so good value there. Yeah, he's going to be an anchor for our line as well. We're going to skip to later in the draft. Let's hope that quarterback's still there, and he's not. No surprise there. The other quarterbacks in this draft class are unimpressive, to say the least. So here, we're going to take C.J. Fields, middle linebacker, pass coverage linebacker, which is fitting our scheme of this 4-3. He's got a mid-first round grade, so he'll be somewhere in the mid to low 70s as well. He's going to be our field general for this team. 74 overall, hidden development, which is fantastic. 16th in the class, we took him at 22. Good value, good pick. This is going to be another just kind of solidify the front line so that Saquon and Daniel Jones have the time that they need to make plays. I'm going to take Randall Steinbach here. 77 overall, 6th in the class, normal development. We got him at 26 though, which is great value. And we're shoring up the offensive line. We'll move those parts around as we see fit. Let's take a quick look at the draft recap here. I'm interested in that cornerback, and I did want to see this cornerback's development trade. If it's Superstar X Factor, I'll be super bummed. He only has, oh no, he has normal development? Oh, well, that's fine. Now we're going to reshuffle our offensive line here. We're going to move our boy Clifton Brown, normal development. We're going to move him over to center. Now kind of across the board, Zeitler, again, we're going to look to move. But Randall Steinbach starting right away at right tackle. Clifton Brown starting right away at center. Will Hernandez, a young piece at left guard. And Daniel Thorne, our rookie, is starting at left tackle. So that's huge for our line. So our team, I think, looks better, much better than it did after 1 year. We'll take a look at our overalls. What about our overalls? We're going to take a look at our overall. Can't pull off overalls. 82 overall, 84 on offense, and an 80 defensively. That is killer for where we are. We are going to jump right to the midseason and see if there's anything that we can do trade-wise. We might look to move Zeitler. We'll see if there's anyone else that's really jumping out on us in terms of moving. After 7 weeks, we are 4-3. Again, surprisingly competitive for what I thought we would be at this point. Definitely want to develop these guys. So we're bringing back everyone we want to. Everybody else, Gallman, Haley, Gates, you all are free to go. So pretty wide open class here. We got a lot of cap room to play with. Thorne, star development, like to see that. Our other 2 linemen had normal development, which we knew coming in. Defensively, Fields is star development as well. Everyone's kind of progressing nicely. It's looking good. At 4-3, I'm surprised. But let's jump to the end. Did we make the playoffs in year 2? We finished 8-8. Okay, our division was strong. Everyone above 500. So we'll jump to the Super Bowl. We've got the Texans and the Eagles in the Super Bowl. A completely different matchup than what we saw. Lamar Jackson wins MVP. Aaron Rodgers wins Offensive Player of the Year. No Giants here. Depoy. No Giants. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Bobby Ramsauer. Don't know who that is. Finishes it. And C.J. Fields wins Defensive Rookie of the Year in the NFC. And Titus Armour finishes 2nd. So huge years for those guys. Hopefully that bumps up their development trait. That would be fantastic news. Quarterback, I don't expect to be on there. Running back, Saquon finishes 5th, which is nice to see. Offensive line, nobody. Defensive line, nobody. So defensively, it seems like we took a step back. Kendall Fuller 8th, on defensive back. Yeah, we kind of took a step back in terms of defensively. Let's look at how we did statistically, and maybe that can shine some light onto where we really need to address our needs. So 22nd in offense, still not great. 9th defensively, so defense wasn't the problem. 25th in points scored. 17 points allowed. So we did allow a decent amount of points. Daniel Jones, another average subpar year. 20 touchdowns is nothing, man. 3,500 yards. Saquon, a big year, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns. Slayton, 800 yards. Shepard, 800 yards. Ingram, another solid year. Isaiah Ford, don't know who you are. 12 yards a catch. In terms of sacks, we gave up more sacks this year, but that's expected with a young offensive line. C.J. Fields and Kendall Fuller, both with 100-plus tackles, is huge. In terms of tackles for loss, Chris Jones with 20, really putting some pressure onto the opposing quarterbacks. Lorenzo Carter leading with 6.5 sacks. That's not a lot of sacks. We want to get some more pressure for sure. Kendall Fuller, Jabril Peppers, Julian Love, DeAndre Baker, each with 2 or more interceptions, which is big. Not forcing a lot of fumbles. We're not a typically strong defense. And then touchdowns, no touchdowns. All right, so now the big decision is Daniel Jones the guy? I don't think so. I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be the one that's going to take us to the top here in this 5-year plan. So we'll look in free agency. I don't think there's going to be anything in free agency in the second year. We're not bringing any of those players back. Did Fields or our free safety Armor go up in development trade? They did not, which is also Jabril Peppers jumped up to superstar development, which is awesome. But no one else looks like they jumped up, which is fine. Zeitler's still an 83. We might hold on to him. Evers still. All right. So we're going to hit free agency with a decent amount of cap money. Texans win the Super Bowl 27-24 over the Eagles. We're coming in with a good amount of cap room, $47 million in cap. Ronnie Stanley. Ronnie Stanley would be a big get for us. We could move one of those tackles to the interior. Ooh, no, this is who we're going after. Chris Godwin. Actually, instead of offering Godwin, what we're going to do is we're going to offer Kenny Golladay. He's also a superstar. He's a little older, which is fine. But we have the opportunity to get him for less money. We're going to offer Kenny Golladay, a big physical receiver. We're also going to take a shot at Samson Ebukam. Everyone seems to be lowballing him right now. So we'll get a chance to pay him a little less than we would. Our offer, by comparison, looks great. We'll see how that looks. In terms of corner, we're going to take a shot at Marshawn Lattimore too, really lowball him as well. See if we can just really kickstart our secondary. No offers on him. If we can get him at a low ball rate, that would be great. Sidney Jones could be another get if we don't get Marshawn Lattimore. Free safety, Xavier Woods. We're going to take a shot at Xavier Woods as well. So we got Xavier Woods, we got Kenny Golladay, so those are 2 big gets for us. Again, we've only got 3 more years in this window. Colts jumped in and offered Marshawn Lattimore a ton of money. Ekubaum got better offers. He's our only player that's really left. Otherwise, we'll continue to rock with what we have. See if we can snag him away from the Colts. Yeah, rejected. That's fine. I think this will be our 5th-year option on Saquon. Yes, it is. So this year we pick at 12, 16, and 17. So kind of right in the middle. Mark Morton. Mark Morton might be our quarterback, though. Field general. His top 3 skills are great. He looks like he could be the first quarterback like first player taken overall. Brody Kemp, another early. Actually, I like Brody Kemp a little bit better for our first round grade. So we're going to keep an eye on Brody Kemp, and when Mark Morton gets drafted, we will look to trade up. But Brody Kemp looks like a beast. So what we're going to do is we're going to send through, and as soon as that first quarterback's taken, we're going to look to move up in the draft. All right, so we're going to look to trade up here with the Seahawks at 4. We're going to go get our quarterback that hopefully is going to supplant Daniel Jones on the depth chart. So we're going to trade Kevin Zeitler, our guard, which is okay. Our second round and our third round pick for the number 4 pick from the Seahawks, so we can go get our quarterback. Those other players in the draft are just throw-ins so that the cap room worked out because Kevin Zeitler's contract is about $12 million. So we're going to go get our quarterback here. And we keep all our first-round picks, otherwise, which is huge. That'll allow us to replace Zeitler. But here's our boy, Brody Kemp, 6'6", strong-arm quarterback, cannon for an arm. And Brody Kemp is a 77 overall, already better than Daniel Jones, hidden development. Number 5 in the class, we took him at 4. I didn't want to let him slide any further. This is going to be huge for us, huge, huge, huge for the remaining 3 years of this 5-year plan. I will do that trade so many times, and now we're going to replace Kevin Zeitler in the draft. Brody Kemp is going to be our guy. That worked out perfectly. So to replace Kevin Zeitler, we're going to go with Ron Sermons, 6'4", 305, has decent size. He is a tackle. We can move him inside to guard. He's number 6 in the class, hidden development. We took him at 12, 77 overall as well. There's our Zeitler replacement, and he's 9 years younger. So this seems to be like a really, what it's looking like is a pretty deep class. Let's look at our draft board. Earlier I mentioned talking about the flexibility of Jabril Peppers. What I might do here is draft Joshua Himes, and then I could move Jabril Peppers to more of a coverage linebacker. Because now we have Xavier Woods at free safety. I wouldn't move Himes over to free safety, or I could move Peppers down to corner. So I think that's the play here. I'm going to take Himes, number 9 in the class. We drafted him at 16, 76 overall, normal development. But again, what allows me to do this is the flexibility of Jabril Peppers and being able to kind of move him wherever I want around the defense. So Himes is either going to be our strong safety. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to, since I don't have a pick until the 4th round now, this is probably my last pick of the draft, I'm going to take Tobias Locke, 6'4", 258, speed rusher. Looks like he's more of a linebacker, which could be good for us. It'll allow me to possibly start him over O'Shea Zinmez, depending on what his overall and development are. If not, he can be a rotational player in our defensive line. 73 overall, develops at a normal rate. He's ranked 14th. We took him at 17. He'll fit in with our defense. We're going to skip to the end of the draft. So I'm pumped. Brody Kemp's going to start right away over Daniel Jones with his hidden development trait. That's fantastic. Our receiving core looks better with the addition of Galladay. Tight ends are fine. We are going to move LeBron Sermons over from right tackle to right guard. He'll sign back a little taller, just a little. I think he has better strength. LeBron Sermons has better strength. That's fine. I want him inside to push run blocks. Tobias Locke, I want to see what he profiles as a linebacker. Again, our defensive line still looks great. He's a 73 overall as well. Maybe we can get him as our rush offensive lineman to get him some reps. Middle linebacker C.J. Fields, rookie of the year last year. Looks good. Lorenzo Carter is continuing to develop. He got up to star. Cornerback could still use some work, and I think this is where we're going to make a big help here. What we're going to do is we are going to move Jabril Peppers down to corner and maybe play him out of the slot. He gets a boost in his overall. He's an 84 overall as a corner. This will allow our new strong safety to get some experience as a rookie and hopefully develop. And Jabril Peppers really helps us out in the cornerback slot. He's going to play slot for us. So I like that pick of this strong safety as well. And that is our team going into year number 3. So we're at 85 overall, 87 on offense, 83 on defense. This is the year we're going to look to kind of make a push towards the playoffs, hopefully get in as a wild card spot. We have a backup halfback with hidden development, which is cool too. Our line looks good across the board. Ingram, Galladay is a superstar. Barkley, superstar X Factor. Hopefully Brody Kemp is our guy. Well, it's kind of too late. He's going to be our guy. Peppers moving down to cornerback. Let's just line up our specialist roles just to make sure. Actually, no, we're going to put Kendall Fuller. We're going to leave Kendall. And we're going to leave Kendall Fuller on the outside. In the slot. Long day. All right, we're going to try the run and shoot offense, actually. I'm interested. We're going to switch to the Tampa Bay Bucks playbook, and hopefully that run and shoot is the right play for us. We'll reevaluate at the halfway point if that was the right decision for us. We're an 85 overall, 87 on offense. Let's go to the midseason mark. At the halfway mark, we are 4-3. Okay. 86 overall, 88 on offense, so we are continuing to develop. So in terms of contracts we want to bring back, well, Hernandez definitely want to bring back. Lorenzo Carter we're going to look to bring back. I like B.J. Hill as a rotational defensive tackle. We're going to look to bring him back as well. Everyone else, no. All right, so what we can't be doing is losing in Week 17 to the Redskins. That can't be a yearly tradition of ours. We finished 6-10. We started 4-3, so we went 2-7 the rest of the year. I don't like that. Cowboys Ravens in the Super Bowl. Let's look at. So Patrick Mahomes wins MVP. NFC Kyler Murray wins Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, we don't have anyone here either. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Brody Kemp finishes second. Who is Malcolm Melvin? Why is he? Brody Kemp finishes second. Where's that other quarterback? Didn't even start. Or maybe he's in the AFC. Did he win AFC? Yeah, he did. He won AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year. Okay, good for him. Brody Kemp finishes second. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Joshua Himes finishes third. Tobias Locke finishes fifth. Dion Williams wins Best Quarterback. Don't know who that is. Brody Kemp finishes seventh. He's already up to an 81 overall, which we'd like to see. Saquon Barkley, number 6. In terms of wide receiver, we don't have anyone there. Offensive line, no one. Defensive line, Kyle Fuller, Kendall's brother, is up there. We don't have anyone up there. And how big was us? Statistically, how are we looking? Our offense is still struggling. 25th offense, 20th defense. Yeah, we didn't deserve to make the playoffs then. 22nd in points scored. 20 points allowed. So yeah, we're bottom third of the league team. Brody Kemp, 3,600 yards, 29 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Not a bad rookie season. Rushing, Saquon Barkley again, beast, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. Receiving, Galladay had almost 1,000 yards. Sterling Shepard, 750 plus. Darius Slayton, Evan Ingram having an okay year as well. Blocking, 16, 28, 32 sacks. So we're decreasing the amount of sacks that are coming in, which is good. Defensively, C.J. Fields is a stud. 128 tackles. Jabril Peppers, 104 tackles as a corner, which is great as well. Tackles for loss. Ryan Connolly, Chris Jones taking a big dip from last year is kind of a disappointment. Sacks. Leonard Williams leading with 9.5. We're getting more pressure on the quarterback, which is fantastic. Let's jump to the next week. There's no one we wanted to bring back. There's $23 million worth of free agency money. Not a ton. Leighton Vander Esch. Von Miller. Mark Andrews. No one has offered a contract on Von Miller, which is actually really enticing. I might make a stab here at Von Miller and try to lowball him and see if we can get him. I mean, it's a big cap hit for $2 million for 2 years, but I want to see if I can bring down his salary a lot and get him for a cheap price. So instead of $14 million, we're looking at about $10 million a year. 63 total overall points. I'm willing to spend that money to bring in a defensive X-Factor player. Like Vander Esch would be the better, but we've already got teams with large bids on Vander Esch, so I'm not going to bid against myself there. Come on, Vaughn. You're old. Come for the ride. Come for the ride, Vaughn. He doesn't jump after the first week. And now teams are jumping at him, those who missed out on Richard Sherman. So now I have missed out on Leighton Vander Esch. So now I have to ask myself, is Von Miller worth spending $14 million on? And the short answer is, I think he is. Let's go get Von Miller and put that final punch on our defense. And Von Miller rejects our deal. Someone paid him more money. Oh, the Panthers came over the top. We gave him a ton of money. What are you going to do there, then? If we're entering our 4th season, maybe we should have gone with Vander Esch if we were going to be that aggressive on Von Miller. That's okay. Maybe we can find that piece in the draft. We should have a decent pick in the draft as well. We have the 7th overall pick. We're going to skip right to our pick. What we're going to do here is we are going to take Devontae Farmer. He's a pass coverage linebacker, which is kind of what we're looking for. And we are going to move him over to replace O'Shane Ximines. He's 8th overall. We took him at 7, so that's pretty spot on. 75 overall, hidden development trade for him. He's going to start over O'Shane Ximines for sure. He's going to play coverage for us. He's not going to be a rush person. We don't want him rushing. But I like that. I like that pick for us. So the only thing that we're going to do to adjust our roster for the 4th year of our 5-year plan is we are going to move our linebacker that we drafted. We are going to move him over where he jumps up to a 77 overall, and we'll look to trade O'Shane Ximines. Devontae Farmer's in play, left outside linebacker for us. I know Tobias Locke had a decent rookie year. We might still have him rushing. We're so close. We should make the playoffs this year. 87 overall, 89 offense, 85 on defense. What we're going to do, we're going to go back to vertical zone run. We're going to use the Texans playbook here, multiple zone run, and we're going to look to go deep with some play action passes as well. That seems right on brand with what I want to do with this team. This has got to be the year that we make a push. So right now we are 6-1. All right, we're 6-1. That's awesome. 88 overall, 89 offensively, 87 on defense. That's fantastic for year 4. This is exactly what we're looking to do. Farmer's up to an 80 overall almost. That means he's already got an ability unlocked, so he's at least, is Javonte Farmer a superstar X Factor? Let's go. We're looking for an X Factor in Von Miller. We got a superstar X Factor in Javonte Farmer. It's a bummer that's a little late, but better late than never. We definitely might do a 5th year with this team if that's the case then. Julian Love is an interesting one with normal development. I might try to hold out on some. I might try to trade Julian Love, actually. And DeAndre Baker. I might try to trade. Oh, and Daniel Jones. You all got that. Yeah. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to get some picks here. And then maybe we can trade those picks for a big-time player. We're going to trade Daniel Jones, a 3rd and a 6th for the Colts' 1st-round pick. Again, we're looking to get 1st-round picks, so maybe we can package for just a superstar. Who else do we want to move? We wanted to move so DeAndre Baker and a 4th-round pick for the Saints' 1st-round pick and that center to make the cap room work. We are going to bring back Julian Love then. We are going to bring him back. 80 overall. Normal development's kind of whatever, but all right, let's sim to the playoffs. 6-1. This is our year to make the playoffs, year number 4 of the 5-year plan. And we are 11-5. The Cowboys win the division at 11-4-1. That is so upsetting. So we're going to sneak in as the wild card team. We're at 91 overall offensively. So for those of you that have been here before, we're going to simulate quarter by quarter, and then we're going to jump in where necessary. The Falcons are an 80 overall. We are an 89. We are the better team. We're the better team. The fact that the Falcons get a home game when we're 11-5 and they're at 8-8 is garbage. So we'll sim the next quarter. Come on, boys. No score after 1. Falcons get on the board. Falcons are up 21-0. This is not good. They're up 28-0. What is going on? Oh, man. This could be out of reach already, but we're going to jump in. We need to score on this drive. Otherwise, it's kind of over. Finding the right playbook's going to be huge because we're not an option team. Kemp's not going to scramble. As soon as I say that, he's going to step. Oh, God, he's slow. Oh, my God, he's slow. Yeah, okay, so he's not a scrambling quarterback. So maybe this isn't the right playbook for us. I see a lot of option in here. Pass interference on the defense. Let's go. Like that. There he is. Touchdown. All right, so we're going to sim. We're going to jump in. And if we can get a stop, we'll jump in. What are we doing, guys? Oh! Dropped it. Not able to get much separation. That's a bad pass. Yeah, this game's over. Oh! We're definitely doing year 5. That was a bad pass. The corner didn't drop off as man like I thought he would. Now we want to score. So we make it somewhat respectable, but PU. We're the better team. We're the better team. So let's look at the awards. We're clearly a playoff team. We're clearly on the cusp. Jacoby Brissett, MVP. Jacoby Brissett. Brody Kemp finishes 9th. That's nice to see. Brody Kemp second in Offensive Player of the Year. So he had a good year. What happened to the playoffs? What happened to the playoffs is, I mean, look like garbage. Defensive Player of the Year, no one. Offensive Rookie, I don't think we had anybody. Defensively, Javonte Farmer, stud. Cam Newton on the Vikings wins Best Quarterback. Kemp second. Saquon fifth. Okay, so we're on the cusp now. Let's just see how we did, so we know for next year when we are making a comparison. 4th in offensive yards. Maybe this is the right playbook. He just had a bad game. 13th in defense. 7th in points. Maybe that was the move for us. 4,500 yards, 33 touchdowns. That's a great year. 1,300 yards. That's a great year. 850 plus. Those are great years. All right. So maybe that is the right play for us. In terms of sacks, 34, not bad. All right, we're there. I think we're bringing everybody back. Let's spend some Coach XP and get it done. Titans and Vikings in the Super Bowl. Vikings win 40-28. Not bringing anyone else back. Free agents, we don't have a lot of money. Bobby Wagner, Devin Singletary, Tony Pollard. None of these guys are what we want anyways. So what we're going to look to do, just don't know where we can make like a super crazy improvement. Our line is good. Our offense is Brody Kemp up to superstar. Offensively, we got 3 receivers in the 80s. Offensively, we're fine. What can we do on defense to really bump this up? I think we need an elite pass rusher. Like an elite pass rusher. I think that is the move. To get an elite pass rusher. I think that's the move. So who's our rush right end? Lorenzo Carter. Yeah. So let's go get somebody. Where are our draft picks? 4, 15, and 24. So good draft picks. Maybe we can trade our 2 first rounders for Khalil Mack. So put my team over the salary cap. So we're trading our first round pick and Lorenzo Carter for Khalil Mack. Yes, he's going to be regressing. Yes, I know that. But Khalil Mack, all right. Here, let's look to Cedric Rawls at another. He's the #1 player in the board. 78 overall, hidden development. Great pick. Bump up, give Kemp another offensive weapon. So wait, hold on a second. Did that not go through? This trade would cause the Giants to exceed the league salary cap. But I have cap room. It says I have cap room here. So we're going to flip Sterling Shepard, Lorenzo Carter. We're going to get Khalil Mack. We're going to get another young receiver to kind of replace Sterling Shepard and our last first round pick. Again, this is our year to push. So bringing Khalil Mack in to be our rush. Oh yeah, to be our left outside linebacker. He's going to be our. We're going to move Javonte Farmer over to the right side, which bumps our team overall up. That's awesome. Offensively, we kind of take a hit, which is okay. Let's get to our last pick that we're going to do in this series. Ideally, no one's going to start for us on the defensive side of the ball. Again, this is our final year. So we're going to push. We are looking to make and win the Super Bowl in our 5th year. It will be a major disappointment if we are unable to do that, especially because this team is so good. In terms of depth chart, we have Khalil Mack and Chris Jones rushing the passer. Locke's coming on the other side. Wells is going to be our slot receiver to get his development going. Sub linebacker. His team is sick. A bunch of superstars on the defensive side of the ball. We're going to do a 4-3 under, since we have such great flexibility in terms of the players that we want rushing everywhere. Cedric Rawls already up to an 80. We're an 89 overall, 91 on offense, 88 on defense. We are 5-2. This is good as of right now. Let's jump to the playoffs. Let's hope we make the playoffs and can have a little bit of gameplay before this 5-year plan comes to an end. How did we finish? We finished 11-5. We won the division, so we made the playoffs. Let's go. We are in the playoffs. We are 90 overall, 92 on offense, 89 on defense. This team is a wagon. This is our chance to win. We've got the Seahawks in the divisional round. Again, we're going to go quarter by quarter. They are an 84 overall. We are a 90 overall team. We have a ton of X factors. If this isn't the year and this isn't the team, then I don't know what is. Seahawks march right down, get a field goal, score a touchdown, come back. After one quarter, it is 7-3 Giants. Seahawks are still driving. We stop them to another field goal. Giants score a touchdown again. Seahawks get another field goal. It is 14-9 after 2 at the half. Seahawks get on the board. Giants respond with a field goal. We are in the 4th quarter. Seahawks get another field goal. The Giants are driving. The Giants score a touchdown. They get the 2. The Seahawks get in the end zone. It is our ball. 4 minutes left. Oh, get off of him! One play! Saquon is a stud! Goodness gracious. One play, 75-yard touchdown. Saquon to the house. Saquon's a machine. Kick the extra point. The Seahawks don't score right away. What happened? we got to do it again. Now we got... What happened there? What happened? A 51-yard pass from Russell Wilson. Oh, my goodness. All right, we got to do it again. And we're going to do it again because I'm Saquon. Oh, Saquon's up to 200 yards rushing. Now what we've got to do is we've got to chew the clock, get into field goal range, win this game, especially with the way that we have been running the football here. That's a touchdown. Saquon is a machine. That's exactly what I'm talking about. What the hell? There he is. Chris Jones. There it is. Peppers. He's still going. Oh, he's still going. Oh, what a way to cap the victory. Hey, what a finish there. I got a little, you know what? I'm not going to lie. Got a little worried there. Got a little worried there with that 35-yard pass off the rip. But that was, what a finish. Little cherry on top there. All right, we are going up against the 9-7 49ers in the conference championship. Again, don't want to sell any opponent short. They're an 85 overall, which is better than our last opponent was. We are a 90 overall. Let's get it. So again, we're going to go quarter by quarter. Playing in the snow. 3 points, 3-0 after one. The snow is an interesting dynamic here. Giants score. Niners get a field goal. Giants score again. Niners get another field goal. 17-6 at halftime. Looking in good position. Again, Giants are going to go down and score again. Giants are going to, turn the ball over inside the red zone. 24-6 after 3. We're looking good right now. This looks to be good. And the New York Giants are going to be going to the Super Bowl in year number 5. That is exactly, this is the 5-year plan. This is it. This is it. For our last game, we are 90 overall, 92 on offense, 89 on defense. Again, this team is a wagon. Let's look at the yearly awards before we jump into the Super Bowl. Darren Cadella wins MVP. Good for him. In the NFC, Zeke Elliott winning MVP. Kemp and Barkley are 8 and 9. Defensive Player of the Year, Khalil Mack coming in second. He was a huge get for us. Roquan Smith, his predecessor in Chicago, winning Depoy of the Year over there. Offensive rookie, Cedric Rawls, our receiver. He was the number 1 pick in the draft. He'd probably be fun to play with if we continued this dynasty out. Defensively, no one on there. Best quarterback, Brody Kemp finishing in second to Russell Wilson, who we just defeated in the divisional round. Best running back, Barkley finishes 4th. Wide receiver, Kenny Galladay on there, and Cedric Rawls on there at 7 and 9. Offensive line, 9 and 10. Leron Sermons and Will Hernandez finally getting on there. Defensive line, Chris Jones finishing 8th. Best linebacker goes to Khalil Mack. That's why we went out and got him. And before we jump into this Super Bowl, let's look at our stats. 10th in offensive yards. 7th in defensive yards. So again, we're a top 10 team on both sides of the ball. 6th in points scored. We're putting up some points. And 5th in points allowed. Brody Kemp was definitely the right choice to go with instead of continuing with Daniel Jones, trading up to get him. He's almost 4,000 yards, 38 touchdowns, 9 picks. A great year. Saquon, 1,600 yards. You saw that he's in prime form in that divisional game where he had 200-plus yards rushing and that huge 75-yard touchdown run. Cedric Rawls out of the slot, averaging 20 yards a catch, is incredible. He's our top receiver. Galladay, 900. Slayton, 700. Evan Ingram, kind of been disappointing in terms of what I wanted Evan Ingram to be. He's not going to be a 1,000-yard receiver for us, but a little more production. Not terrible. In terms of sacks, 32 sacks, so again on the lower end. CJ Field, 4 people with 90-plus tackles. Farmer, Mack, Preppers, Fields. Tackles for loss, we've got Chris Jones leading the way with 16, and this is why we went out and got him. Khalil Mack, 16 sacks, still a beast. Even got an interception. Farmer and Xavier Woods with interceptions as well. That's why we went out and got Khalil Mack. He is a game changer for us. He takes our defense to the next level, and hopefully he's going to be big for us in the Super Bowl. This is the last game we're going to play. This is the last part of the 5th-year plan. Giants, Ravens, they are an 84 overall. Their offense looks prime with Lamar Jackson, Marquise Brown, and Willie Snead. Marquise Brown has Moss, which is interesting. We are a 90 overall. We are looking to get revenge on Super Bowl 35, and this is going to be, again, the final game of this 5-year plan. Let's get after it. Oops. We are going to go, again, quarter by quarter. Giants come down and score, take a 7-0 early lead. After one, it is Giants 7, Ravens nothing. Let's jump into the second quarter. Ravens get a field goal. Giants score again. Giants with the stop, get the field goal, and at halftime it is Giants 17, Ravens 3. We're in a prime position right here. It's all coming together. Let's do the third quarter. The Ravens come kick. We're a bend-don't break in the red zone from what it looks like, which is fantastic. We're going to jump to the next change of possession. The Ravens score. Next change of possession. We're going to go down and kick a field goal. So the Ravens have the ball, down 12-20 with 5 minutes left. We might jump in here. Ravens kick another field goal. Again, we are bend, don't break in the red zone. Next change of possession. Really want to look to milk that clock. And we're going to milk that clock all the way to the Super Bowl. We don't need to jump in. This team was the better team. We did it over the course of 5 years. Our 5-year plan is successful once again. The New York Football Giants win the Super Bowl with a totally revamped team from when we started. This team is a wagon, 90 overall. In fact, that is a better overall. That is the best overall so far of our two. Both Super Bowl winners. We're 2 for 2 so far. That's going to do it for this video. Another successful 5-year plan. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're going to continue doing these rebuilds throughout the year until Madden 21 comes out. So thank you again. But another successful 5-year plan. 2 for 2. Your New York Giants are Super Bowl champions.